Okay, so I am in my driveway filming at a slightly awkward angle because I'm trying to avoid filming identifying information for right where I live. But I'm doing a day in the life video. So we're heading out to a local store where I get great deals on wholesale produce, because I'm gonna go ahead and stock up a little bit on specifically potatoes and tomatoes, and I'm going to be doing some canning. So the plan is to be putting up a lot of potatoes over the next couple of days. And so I have my son here with me, the oldest boy, to help, because those are 50-pound boxes of potatoes. So we're gonna need some help. So anyway, yeah, it's quite a trip, but we're gonna head out to Superstition Ranch Market. It's on Main and Greenfield here in the Phoenix Valley metro area, and I'll show you exactly what we get and for how much, and then possibly even bring you along a little bit with the canning process of putting up the potatoes. So hey, there we go. All right. Yeah, we're all done. So here's the Superstition Ranch Market, and then of course it's Arizona, so there's also tacos. But so here we've got two 50-pound boxes of potatoes, and it's really nice of them because this is the only one left at the old price, and a brand new crop just came in that's going to be more expensive. So these were $21 each. Well, this one was $21, but they gave me the new one for the same price as the old one. And then there's two 25-pound boxes of Roma tomatoes that were $11.50 each. And now none of this is organic. I wish it were, but you know, you can't always do organic, and at these prices it's just incredible. So that was $65 for 150 pounds of food, and I'm going to be processing these over the next couple days. This is going to be my weekend. So anyway, all right, time to head home. Okay, so lunch is being made and eaten right now while we are preparing to get ready to start canning the potatoes, because it is a bit of an intensive, like, kind of multi-step process. So I'm going to have my helpers helping me. So first we had to clear the table of some big bulk food purchases that we just made at Azure, and so I will go show you where I have put that now. But I will be doing an actual Mylar bag oxygen absorber video for the rolled oats here, 50-pound bag of rolled oats. We're going to be putting that up for long-term storage because I already have a big bucket of organic rolled oats that's out that we are currently working through right now. And then there was homemade rice ramen. Was it good? Yeah, it's good. And I have my garbanzo bean and cucumber balsamic vinegar thing I eat, which actually I haven't eaten yet because I'm filming. But let me go show you where we put some of the bulk foods and talk to you just a little bit about some of what I am now doing in the house to make room for all this stuff. Okay, so we are definitely in transition. This is my studio / extended pantry room, which is a bit messy right now, but I'm just, like I said, just sort of in transition. So this used to be my studio, and I used to keep a whole bunch of my craft items down here. I don't know if I've ever shown the before. So stuff has mostly been moved out into our laundry room storage, which is hooked to our garage. There's no AC. Any actual polymer clay is still inside because that shouldn't be exposed to heat. But, you know, other stuff, it's sort of my new rule, right? Where I'm not storing anything inside that could be stored outside, with a few exceptions, because like this is my work desk. This is where I run my business. It's my Etsy shop. And so my beads, these towers of beads, used to be here. And then there used to be other, like, lesser used silversmithing tools that were in these spots. So those got moved out to the laundry room. And now my beads are still here. Like the main beads I access, like my display over here. And then my other beads. And so I still need access to those. So those are not going outside because, like I said, this is where I run my studio business. I don't really do bead stuff in my business anymore. That is the stuff that I make, which I donate in a charity show at the end of every year for a single mom event at my church. And so I still have a lot of fun playing with the kind of stuff I like to make. Not that I don't like to make my silver, but that's not this, you know, the beaded stuff is not the stuff that sells. It's the silver that sells. So that's why my business on Etsy is nothing but my silver work, and I get to do my fun bead stuff for the charity show, which is fun. But anyway, so anything that's not food gets stored outside, food gets stored inside. So let me just show you really fast what I have done over here. I'm like debating, yeah, my desk. Oh, everything is a mess. So like I said, we're in transition. I spent this whole week clearing out underneath that desk. So these bins are full of food. And then there's like hot sauces. These are amber bottles I'm going to put tinctures into. And as this room is getting transferred more and more to a pantry and less to a studio, stuff is kind of going crazy, being moved back and forth, and it's just a lot. But so basically the beans and like the big things that have gone into these buckets, these are now working buckets. So we've got actually a ton of this stuff already in long-term storage, sealed up in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers and everything ready for like, 10 to 20 years. I'm estimating more like 10 years on a lot of that stuff, just because this is stuff I can cover in the Mylar storage video. Our house is never much colder than 70. And then in summer, it's more like 74, 75. So we do not have the ideal storage conditions, even indoors, for extremely long-term food storage. There is just no place on my property, in my house, that gets a consistent like 50 to 60 degree temperature, which is more ideal for long-term food storage. So I am estimating, like I said, more like 10 to 15 years on the items I have put up, rather than the 20 to 30, which is given for like the idea of like a basement or a root cellar. But anyway, so we've got, each one of these now is full of a fresh 25-pound bag, green lentils, black beans, garbanzo beans, and spelt grains. And I'll just like pull this over here. Like I said, this is full, so this is heavy. So I got my gamma lids on here, because this is, like I said, it's going to be a working bucket, so we'll be getting in and out of this. But then even still, there's a Mylar bag. There's a big 5-gallon Mylar bag, no oxygen absorbers, but we've got bay leaves in there. This is just like an extra measure against anything that might crawl into here, because I don't really trust the effectiveness of the seal of these buckets, if I'm honest. We've done some tests and like put water in the bucket and then tilted it to the side, and all the water comes out. So I'm not, and it comes out through here. It's not through the seal here. So I am not 100% convinced that these gamma seal lids actually are airtight or watertight. So I've got the bags in there as well. But yeah, we moved all that in here, and now we're getting ready to do the canning. So I'm expanding now that I have, pretty decent amount set away in my long-term storage. I am beginning to focus, or I'm beginning to allow some of the bulk things I'm bringing in to go to like working buckets rather than the long-term storage. So I'm actually not even considering any of this part of my like what I consider my supply. So we're sitting, pretty well right now. It's still not, quite to where I want to be. I want to be at a year's worth of food. I'm not really close to that yet, but these I'm not even considering as what I have on hand anymore, because they're the working buckets. And so anyway, I guess that's enough discussion about that. You probably would rather see canning than video of these same 4 buckets. Look, these same 4 buckets. It's so interesting. Okay, so we just got a bunch of water, and then this is a citric acid solution. It's 1 teaspoon per gallon. So there's a gallon and a half in here, and so I did 1.5 teaspoons. And so yeah, we're getting ready to peel and cut and soak potatoes to start the actual canning process, as laid out in the Complete Guide to Home Canning from the USDA. This is my preferred book over any of the ball books, which don't have any information on like beans and stuff. And so yeah, I've been doing canning, and you technically can get all of this information free on the NCHFP, I think NCHFP website. But having it in print form is just so handy, and there's like an index, and you can flip back and forth and reference things. It is so much easier than using it on a computer. I regret this not even at all. So this is like $8, and it's fantastic. Actually, I just canned all of these pinto beans in molasses sauce is what all of these are, and it was a recipe out of that book. And so yep, it's great. Anyway, yeah, we're getting ready to do the actual process now, so I guess we're gonna get to work, and yeah, we put a TV. We're gonna watch Hoarders while we're doing all this. And yeah, I guess that's all. See you guys in a bit. Okay, these guys are ready to go in the canner, and I'm just sort of waiting on the boiling to finish of the last bit of potatoes to go into here and be my last jar. So we're doing a full load of 7 quarts, and then we're getting ready for the second load of 7 quarts. I'm hoping to do 14 quarts of potatoes today. And yeah, I just wanted to mention, so this is definitely not a canning instructional video, but one sort of like nitpicky thing I like to do is, oh, there is the potato. I like for the lid to be facing this way, like with the ball at the front, because that's what I like to have at the front, so that when you write your labels, they're all, excuse me, babe, they're all facing the right direction. So yeah, you can see, like, so I'm going to put these on my shelf and they'll all be facing forward. And then it'll be really easy to sort of glance down and see what it is. And then I have the little space to write my date, exactly where I'm supposed to write the date. Anyway, yep. So we'll get right on the last can. Actually, Thad is doing it because I have been teaching the boys the process of how to do this. And so that is what we are doing right now. And yeah, we're on the very last jar for the first batch, and we're about 20 minutes into our episode of Hoarders because we keep having to pause. They're learning how I watch TV. It takes me like a whole day to go through, you know, even a 40-minute episode of some show. It's crazy. Anyway, all right, we're getting to it. Okay. And also, we're in the process of freezing bananas. We're actually doing quite a lot right now. We're putting a lot of food up. Getting ready to soak and grind, or soak and sprout some grains for more flour. This is my einkorn, which I soaked, and I'm getting ready to put that up too. And my vinegars, and yeah, there's a lot going on. This weekend is definitely like a food prep weekend. Also, this is a reused Ziploc bag, by the way, just in case anybody's like, Ziploc bag. We reuse these over and over and over again until they can't be used again. And actually, the boys' favorite job when they're doing hand wash dishes is to wash these bags for reuse. I'm getting looks from behind the camera and over at the table. They hate this job. But anyway, yeah, we reuse them. Okay, so a funny thing that I just thought of, is it ironic that we are watching Hoarders while we're doing our prepping? Because I know a lot of people think that preppers are hoarders.
You have no idea. You know what you're talking about.
I guess, I don't know, I just think it's kind of a funny thought. Like, I don't know if you guys have thoughts on that.
I never really linked the two together.
Yeah.
You never link the two
Or
together.
because, like, we're honestly, we're trying to be minimalist too. Because, like, I hate clutter and I hate stuff.
Yeah.
And I think we all do.
Yeah.
So now that we're minimalist preppers, or we're trying to be, so, like, I don't know.
Right, like getting rid of excess stuff and stocking up, you know, conscientiously on food items, you know, and then I guess certain equipment, but it's all got, you know, it's all got a purpose. Like it's all got a genuine purpose, not just like potential. Oh, I was going to use that for this. Like, no, I do currently use this for this. You know what I mean? So
no, and yeah, so it's like minimalism is getting rid of frivolous, unnecessary things, and then prepping is making sure you have a good stockpile of very needed things that will be used in an emergency.
right, yeah, like the basics, right?
Yeah.
Food, water, the ability to cook those things when the power goes out. And now we have a few extra things we never had before, right? Like we've got a bucket toilet seat, which, you know, we have in case water goes out. Like there, we have no septic system and all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah.
So I definitely feel like prepping and minimalism actually kind of go hand in hand. Or like the ideal prepping situation would be a minimalist one.
Or, well, I don't know, it's not minimalist in prepping, but like, it's certainly the reason that we have room for a lot of the stuff that we've done is because of how much stuff we have gotten rid of and continue to get rid of. That's how I clear space for our preps, is by donating or giving things away, you know. But yeah, and she wants to say something. Sage, what do you think about prepping? You want to watch TV in the boys' room? Yes, I know you do. All right, cool. I just thought that was kind of funny because I was realizing as we were doing our potatoes that somebody might be like, they're watching preppers or they're watching hoarders while they're hoarding. It's like interesting. But yeah, like we have 1 jar of potatoes left from the last big batch. And now we're making another batch, which we fully intend to be using. Like we're using these things. So yeah.
Oh gosh, these canned potatoes are so good.
The canned potatoes are crazy good, yes. Anyway, okay, cool. Yeah, I just thought I would talk to you guys or get your thoughts on it because it's just an interesting concept. But yeah. All right, first potatoes came out okay in spite of difficulties. Mainly, the very first jar I pulled, if you can see the water significantly less because when I went to pick it up with my jar grabber, water started spewing everywhere because this jar grabber, I believe, is only designed to work with the regular mouth jars and not the wide mouth jars. This is not the first time I've had this problem, but this is the first time it was this dramatic. And so I just pulled the rest of these with my oven mitts, and that ended up working out fine. But let me just show you what I'm talking about. So there's other jar grabbers I have seen. Can you see how dramatic that curve is? I have seen ones that when you're looking at them from the side like this, they're flat instead. So it's like all right angles. It looks like the side of a rectangle rather than, you know, something rounded like that. And so I tried to talk about this to my canning group or my stocking group on Facebook, and everybody was like, you're supposed to grab below so you're not grabbing the ring, because I was explaining that this grabber just grabs rings, or the ring on the wide mouth jars. And I was like, I'm trying to grab below, but it literally will not work. So let me show you here. So like I'm trying, it does not fit physically. And look, it's making full contact with the ring. So you can imagine a heavy thing coming out of the canner, it is squeezing that ring and then it upsets the seal. And then like I just had happen, water spews everywhere. And so you can see though how it's completely untrue. So like this is even like a macerating tincture. This is way heavier than this. And you grip underneath and look, lo and behold, it works perfectly. There is zero contact being made with the ring. And so it lifts just fine. And so a lot of people were like, I have that jar grabber and never have that problem. Then they'd show a picture and it was flat. It wasn't curved like this. So they were talking to me like I'm crazy, like I don't know what I'm doing or what I'm talking about. But this is not correct. This is not a jar grabber that is built to go on a wide mouth jar. And I feel like I need someone to vindicate me. Like, does anybody have a similar grabber and like it works just fine and doesn't grab the ring? Because I feel like I need to get a new one that's flat. And I mean like here is what I'm talking about. This curve right here. This curve, the up and down right there that's happening. It looks like a rainbow. It needs to be flat right there. I hope I'm explaining that correctly. Anyway, all right. Yeah, that's it. So I've got potatoes boiling. Time to set my timer. And I don't know. So I just sort of want to warn people, if this is your grabber, check it against your wide mouth jars and see if it's grabbing the rings, because that does not work for pulling hot jars out of the canner. In fact, I avoid canning in wide mouth jars now for that very reason because of this. But it did work out just fine to have these 2 oven mitts, but now they're all wet, you know, so they're drying. Anyway. All right, the next batch is in full force. So potatoes have to boil for 2 minutes before they get put in the jars. And then, anyway, yeah, it's the process. All right. Okay, so now the sound is the canner. It's pretty decent haul so far these last couple days of some canned goods, and the pressure canner is going. And yeah, I want to sit down. Gotta wait for a while, but anyway, yeah, I think that is where we will cut it off. It's been a long, very busy day. It's like 7 o'clock now. We've been at it for about 5 or 6 hours. And yeah, so I'm gonna figure out dinner, and I think that's gonna be it from me for today. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you liked this. Let me know if you want some sort of a canning instructional, anything like that. And I will attempt to put something together for you guys. There are many amazing instructional videos already out there, but I can cover a few things, I guess, like that stupid jar lifter thing, which is my nemesis. Anyway, okay, so I guess that's all. And as always, I hope the rest of your day is good and your life stays wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.